what was your favorite or most impactful secondary character, Inez definitely was a very prominent one. But I really liked is it Future Man, Andrew Wilson, which is the older Wilson, and only, and this kind of goes into the next one, which or the one was what was your favorite scene? The scene that they have at the country club with Future Man and James Caan, who's Mr. Henry.
Yeah.
I think just because of the way that Future Man plays that scene, he became my favorite because there's all the secondary characters are pretty good. I think Rob's really good, but it's just that little bit of dialogue was so perfectly executed that I was like, I kind of like this character to start with, and now I really he just stands out.
And the way
His
he's dressed as
subtleness.
well, the way he's dressed.
Yeah,
Who was
exactly.
Future Man?
He's the older Rob's
Bob,
older brother
Bob's
who always
brother.
beats him up.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Those were some
As
funny
he
scenes.
picks up the leaf and he's like, I told him to clean the pool thoroughly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, found one leaf.
And then there's
And
like
then
that one.
and then there's like that beating that's going on
Yeah, in the background. Yeah.
I thought that was a fun scene.
You
Yeah.
just hear stuff like, "I'm a bully. I'll show you a bully." Pop,
Who
pop.
would your favorite secondary character be, Gareth?
I definitely like Bob and his brother. I really like the first scene that they showed with Bob. He's talking to Dignan, and Dignan's like, "This is a job interview. You're the only friend I have with a car. This is easy. Sell yourself. You know,
Yeah. Oh
tell me
yeah.
why you should be in the group." And the guy says he tells on himself for a couple things. He was like, growing marijuana plants in his mom's backyard and shouldn't have been, which I don't know if that was a plus or not. But
But he acts like it. Doesn't he
in
act
the
like it
end,
is?
Yeah, he's trying to
yeah,
sell
he's like, so I'm a risk taker. I'm a risk
Yeah.
taker, which probably isn't a good quality.
Yeah.
But then he's like, but you know what? I really want to be part of this team, and I have a car. And then Dignan was like, you know what? That hit the heart right here. It was just like it was very realistic. It was almost pathetic. It was like Dignan wanted him to justify why he's letting him be part of the crew because he has nobody else,
Yes.
and that was the best he could come up with.
I didn't like Inez. I
Didn't
never.
like her.
No. I, I thought they miscast. I thought it was miscast. Not that she did a bad job, but I just didn't like who they chose for Inez.
Yeah,
Because I wasn't convinced that Anthony would fall in love with Inez because
she was a very pretty girl, had pretty eyes.
well, see, I didn't think she was that pretty. That
I'm
maybe
trying to remember. Yeah, I don't remember her being overly attractive. I remember her having pretty eyes.
that's what kind of threw me off because if he's head over heels with her already, it would seem to me that it would need to be a physical thing because they're not able to communicate. And I didn't see the physicality of what she looked like to make him want to fall head over heels for her, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Well, that's how it would be with normal people in a normal situation. I'm trying to think about like from a psychological point of view for him.
So that always. But other than that,
Maybe it had to do with where he just got all that talking out and he just needed somebody to listen. He needed a good listener.
it's true
Even
too.
though she didn't even hear any of it.
Right, right.
Maybe he was the person who was able to open his, like
Open.
open up and unload a bunch of stuff that he needed to pour out to somebody when
But
everybody else.
it did give Inez inspiration to learn English. So
Mhm.
so they could communicate. So that showed, yeah, she likes him as well. I'm going to try to learn his language, and I'm sure he tried to learn some of her language as well. So that showed that they're willing to give each other, go the extra mile. I don't really have I guess I'll cop out and say I don't really have a favorite secondary character. But
I wish I'd paid more attention to the second half. I feel like there was a lot more secondary characters in like the third act that
you get the crew, you get Applejack, and then you get
yeah,
Mr. Henry and his crew.
and those
You know what
I
he
really
does?
watch again.
Wes Anderson does really well in this is that he lets the script tell itself rather than having the characters tell the script. Like you think about Inez, you think about Rocky, who is the translator.
Yeah.
Like the characters themselves, there's not a lot to them, but the situations that he puts them in, especially with the translation of the like when he starts to talk about their intimate personal life with Rocky there. Same thing, you could even say that with Mr. Henry, the James Caan character. Grace, I thought she had just a little, but it was like these he just gives them, there's so many moments there that the scenes kind of define the characters rather than the actors or the characters themselves defining it.
I understand
And I
that.
think that's why it's so hard to find a good secondary character. One, Owen Wilson, I think, kind of steals the show. But two,
Yeah.
it's so it's like as a director, he's so in control of the scenes that the actors don't really have as much control over them.
I felt like his later movies did the exact same thing, but he would use more tools like a flashback to fill you in on some of the stuff, or something like that. Usually, I think he would give you like a short scene. Sometimes it would just be 1-3 seconds, really short.
Mm.
Even a flashback like that.
Did anyone else feel a little bit like Dumb and Dumber during the film? Did you just
Now
have
that you
it?
mention it,
Even the little, when he's on the little bike,
Yeah.
the tiny little like motorbike thing, I was thinking about them in the wood and they get stuck out in the. There was a lot of commonalities between this film
Yeah. When he was
and
like,
Dumb and Dumber.
fix that vehicle, and then they kind of walk away, which is similar to when they get in the fight in that van, like the mutton chops van, and then Jim Carrey comes back with that little scooter.
Exactly. And being like having it break down in the middle of like the desert,
Yeah.
which is what happens with the spider that they steal. It breaks down in the middle. It just had these weird, but I will say this, the humor obviously was completely different because this was a little bit more,
Highbrow.
yeah, uh, tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
When Dumb and Dumber is just like very much just ridiculous on the nose,
Yeah. Yeah.
purposeful,
Yeah.
obviously.